tell you, and today I'm going to talk about designing mobile widgets. A lot of exciting things ahead, so let's get started. This is the agenda I'm going to follow. The first thing I'm going to talk about is why it is so important to us. Why should we care? I'm going to give you some background information where we are today and what is the current trend which makes this widget development opportunity so exciting. So, and then I'll start with 5 contextual tips. These tips will give you an understanding of a mobile user, a widget, the device, and the widget context. The top 5 tips basically will cover the development of a widget. What you should focus when you're creating a widget, what should be, how you can grab the user's attention, and so on. So let's get started. So the most important question is why should we care? So today, this is what we have today. A computer to mobile ratio is 1:4. That is, there is 1 billion computers all over the world, and there is approximately 4 billion mobile phones. And 20% of these phones are basically smartphones. By smartphones, what I mean is those phones which are widget capable, which have some rich features which you can use to extend the features. And the trend is there is a increase of smartphones every year. And there is today 140 million, and there will be 423 million of smartphones in 2030. That is one of the studies done by wireless expertise. So what I'm trying to say is, in 4 years, the smartphone sales will be 4 times, which is today. And the next thing is, which is much more related to our widget development, is the market for mobile widgets. The market for mobile widget in 2009 was approximately 100 million euro. And the trend is, it is increasing 80% every year. So in 2030, it's not 4 times, it's going to be 10 times what we have now. So for every 1 developer we have now, we need 10 developers for the device. So that's just the background information. And so let's get started with the tips. So the first tip I would like to share with you is design for a mobile user. Whenever you are creating a mobile widget, the first thing you should understand is a mobile user is not sitting on a computer. His focus is not completely in the mobile. He might be in a train, he might be waiting in a queue, he might be sitting in a conference, maybe like you guys. How many of you are using a mobile right now? So you are a mobile user and you have a very short attention span. You are listening to a conference and at the same time you are using your mobile. You have a divided attention. You might be listening to music, you might be watching a video, and at the same time you are using your mobile. So you have a divided attention and you are interruptible. Right now I am interrupting you if you are using a mobile user. And you have a dynamic environment when you started using your mobile devices and when you will be, you don't know. Maybe if you are waiting for a bus and your bus arrives, you have to catch the bus. You don't have time to complete whatever interaction you were doing with the widget. You just have to catch the bus. So that is something which you should understand first. That is the target 10 seconds of short attention span which you are targeting for your widget. The second tip I want to give you is also some background information what exactly is a widget. Widget is like a very overused term. Initially widget were used the term widget was used for reusable controls. Like if you remember, even Qt as of today has some Qt widgets, which are just reusable controls. But the widget which we are talking right now is a small lightweight application meant for single purpose. So that is the precise definition for a widget which is in the context. So how exactly it all started? The first thing I did some research on this. The first desktop widget which was very popular was called Fabric, the Yahoo widget which we know now. So that was based on a widget engine, and that started this whole era of widgets, where you have like small clock application, single purpose applications, and then it became very popular. And then there was, desktop widgets for Linux, there was dashboard widgets, there was sidebar gadget for Vista. All of them have widget engine, they can access some native APIs. And similarly, there was a chunk of web widgets. Web widgets are basically a small chunk of embedded code. If you go to today, any web page, you will find are web browser based, they are server based application. But the goal was again a single application, a single feature for the web page. And then this functionality, if you add to a mobile device, you have a mobile widget. Like in S60 environment, we have a web time, and then you can access device interface. So that is a mobile widget, which you should understand. Okay, so the third thing, which I think is quite important, is when you are creating a widget, you have to understand a mobile is a very highly personal device. You might share your laptop with your parents or with your family, even your computer. But a mobile device, you wear with you. You keep it with you always. You have it is a very personal device. So you have to create a widget, a very personalized widget. So you have, if you define your target, you can target a specific set of users. You can create a rich features for only those users. For example, if you create an application, a widget for Maemo.org, maybe for the summit, chances are that all of us might be using it today because it is meant for this particular set of users for a particular purpose. So that is my tip, and allow for customization. And then since the development cost of a widget is very small, you don't have to invest a lot of money or a lot of time. You can target sport events, conferences, and then so on. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is play nice. What I mean by play nice is when you are creating a widget, you should try to see the next upper layer, the widget environment where your widget is going to live. I mean the device. If you are creating a widget, there will be tons of widgets in the same device. You should always play nice. You should always follow the design guidelines of the device. You should never try to be a memory hog. You should justify the space. For example, N900 allows for like multiple desktops. So you should not create a widget which takes all of the desktop. You should share with others. So you should try to be a team member. Okay, and the fifth tip I want to share with you is utilize device potential. What I want to say here is one size does not fit all. So if you have created a widget for say iPhone or Android, you should not just try to put it in Nokia N900. Nokia N900 has some very unique features, unique potential which you can capitalize when you are creating a widget. So here I wanted to show you one promotion video, which this is a very fantastic video which was created, and this so beautifully describes all the unique features of an N900. So let's see. I'm sure you guys have seen this before, but this is such a fantastic video. Sound. Oh, no sound. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so what my point was, N900 is such a fantastic device. It has some very unique features, like it allows for multitasking. It has a QWERTY keyboard. It has a touch screen. It has a 5 megapixel camera. So I mean, these things are unique to the device. So when you are creating a widget, and if you can utilize these features of the device, you are creating a very integrated experience for your users, and that is my tip to you. So now we go to the next top 5 tips, and the first tip I want to give you is focus on one functionality. I'm sure you guys have heard this a lot of times, and I already said that a widget is meant for single purpose. So you should always try to focus on one functionality. A clock and a calendar are two different widgets. You should not try to combine them and create a single widget. So And then you should also know what are widgets meant for. I mean, right now, a lot of widgets are used for quick information, casual games, simple utility. Casual games, for example, I was looking for what is the most popular game right now in a mobile device. You'll be surprised to know Tetris. Tetris is the most popular game right now. Why? Because it is very simple. It does not need a lot of time, user's time. And then the second most popular game is a Jawbreaker. How many of you have played Jawbreaker in a mobile device? So the thing is, it allows you to play the game when you are waiting in a queue. It allows you to, it does not need all your concentration. So create a widget which use these features. I mean, create a simple utility. Don't try to create a task manager for a mobile device. If you can create a simple task manager, of course, that's fine. And then other trends, you can create a media application, a radio player, a video player, or even search and lifestyle widgets are quite popular. And then the recent trends. Recent trends have also, the current recent trends, there are social widgets. I mean, social applications has been very popular nowadays, like Facebook widget, which comes with N97. That makes your device very social. But I'll come to that in another tip. And then branded application. If you are a company and if you have a product, you can create a branded widget just for your product, and then you can add that feature in your mobile device. So that way you have your advertisement as well as the widget which is useful. And then of course, advertisement is a big revenue model. So subtle advertisements, that is also one of the current trends. Then mini web apps like email applications, bank applications, these are also getting more popular every day. Okay, now the next step is simplify features. I'm sure you guys have heard this like a million times, make it simple, the KISS principle. But what I mean here is once you have created a widget, after that, pause for a moment. Think, what can you do to make it more user-friendly? How can you make it less complicated? I mean, if you have say a news widget, and if you have like 10 top news, how to make it maybe visually more attractive, visually more aesthetic, and then try to use some icons, visual cues instead of text, and try to make it more simple. So for this, I have taken these three examples. If you go to google.com and if you search for this web widgets clock, you will find 200 different kinds of clocks, and out of that, 99% of them have less than 100 users. I mean, that is astonishing. Because a clock is such a simple functionality. I mean, if you were in the web runtime demo day before yesterday, I created a clock in the demo itself. So, but the functionality is so simple. If you can have a very clear clock, like these three clocks, the analog clock has like 8,000 users with 13 5-star ratings. And then the red clock above has like 38,000 users. And then the most important of all, the simple clock. This has like 28,000 users with 25 ratings, 25 5-star ratings. I mean, that says it all. I mean, a clock cannot have a different functionality. Every clock is the same. But these three are in the top 1%, and rest of them are like in the top rest of them. So you might ask me how to create a simple widget. I mean, how can we make things simple? So I have a very good set of principles which I call paper clip principle. Make it easy to look, easy to understand, and easy to use. I mean, if you look at a paper clip is made of a wire which has an edge. But if you look at it, you don't feel that it can hurt you because it has rounded corners. It has all the edges inwards. So it is very easy to look. If you look at it, you easily understand how you can use it. And then, of course, you are able to use it. So then again, most effective designs are often least complicated. So my point here is try to make your widget less complicated. If you are not a very good designer, you don't have to be a very good designer to make it less complicated. Once you have a widget, try to add some space between the text. Try to use images instead of text. Okay, so the next step I have is grab the user. What I meant by that is grab the user attention. When you have your widget ready, there are 4 different points which you can concentrate and grab the user attention. The first one is attract at entry point. So when you submit your widget in a widget gallery, there will be like thousands of similar widgets, maybe hundreds of widgets with the same functionality. How will you attract the user? I mean, when a user is browsing through your widget gallery, you just have like 5 seconds of time to decide on your widget. So the fate of your widget depends on the entry point, and this is one of the standard design principles. You should have short title, simple headings, nice professional icons. So spend some time on this entry point. The second thing is make it alive. What happens is a number of times users download your widgets, and then 80% of those widgets user just deletes or uninstall it. Why does that happen? You have created a widget and it's functional. But what a widget is meant for is some compelling data. When a user opens a widget, what he wants to see is something interesting, something compelling. So make it alive. I mean, when you click on the widget icon in your device, it should show something new, something interesting. For example, if I create a news widget and I open it, what I want to learn, the first thing is maybe the news yesterday was Obama got a Peace Prize, Nobel Peace Prize. So that's what you want to see. When you open a widget, that's the only information which can make you stop and think and get you interested. You don't want to show like top 20 news when you open a widget. So make it dynamic. The third point is get statistics. This again is something very, very important according to my experience. So number of downloads and number of users are not the same thing. You should understand that number of downloads can be much bigger than the actual number of users. So if you are creating a widget based on a feed, online feed or an XML file, you should always try to get statistics. There are a lot of online websites which can give you feed-based statistics, like feedburner.com, if you guys are aware of that. You put your feed there and then it will give you accurate statistics to that particular day, how many users you have right now. So if you have 10 widgets, and if you get these statistics, you know which widget is more popular, and then you can invest time on those widgets instead of the rest of them. So that is my third point. The last point is hear your user. This again is something very common sense, but we forget that. Why? Always if you have a widget, if it is popular, people want to compliment you. Users want to talk to you. Users want to ask you for new features. So you should allow that at the first point. And then if you can include an email address, if possible, an online forum, one-page online forum, you allow for feedback. The best thing to do is allow an email in the widget itself. That way you will get a number of users' feedback, and that will improve your widget in the long run. So that is my grab the user point. The next thing is add social. Okay, so what I mean by add social is, a mobile is essentially a social device. So if you create a widget, a functionality which expands this social nature of the device, that makes the widget more popular. A mobile device is always available, always connected. It's meant for communication, it's interactive. So if you make your widget help user to communicate, help user to socialize, that makes the widget more popular. If you create a widget for a movie widget, you should allow the user to interact with maybe friends of his address book about a particular movie. You should add some kind of maybe Facebook Connect in the widget so that he should be able to share his views about the movie. So that makes the widget more social, and that's how you can add the social aspect to the. Okay, so the last tip I think, and which I think is the most important one, is make it fun. You have to understand that a widget has to be fun. 90% of the user who downloads a widget, it is for fun. If you want news or information, you can get it from n number of places. You can go online and get it. But a widget, if you add that extra fun in a widget, that makes your widget very special. So try to put some effort to delight the user. Give some pleasant surprises. Make it special. And if you can make your user smile or chuckle, that will make your user connected to you. He will think that, okay, the developer has put some effort, and that will make the widget survive in this dynamic environment. So one very famous writer wrote the same thing what I wanted to say in less than 10 words, and I wanted to share with you guys that. That's Bob Basso, and this is what he said. I don't think I can explain this in fewer than these words. So that's it from me. These are the 10 tips. Designed for a mobile user, no widgets, target specific set of users, play nice, Utilize device potential, focus on one functionality, simplify feature, grab the user, act social, and make it fun. So I think that I'll have some minutes for Q&A. And thank you all. Any questions? Any experience you guys want to share with me? Your personal tip? Yes, please.
One question which is actually more related to a bit like a deeper level. Do you have also any recommendations related to power management? Because now you spoke quite a lot about social, when we share, we fetch this kind of information.
Okay.
But, well, of course, all these things really require energy.
I'm not able to understand your question. Can you repeat the question, please?
So, now actually you described that the widgets will really fetch data, they should be really social, really share information all the time, should be up to date. But then also, if a widget is constantly running, it really drains the battery rather easily. So do you have any recommendations how to avoid that?
Okay, can you tell me the question again? Sorry about that. So like I said, play it nice. So when you are creating widget, you should understand that there will be tons of other widgets also in the same device. So you should follow the design guidelines. I mean, that's where the design guidelines comes into picture. If you follow the design guidelines, for example, we are right now creating the resource for the web runtime and the widget framework for N900. So we are going to decide on what is the best optimum way for calling data, for what kind of memory you should use in a widget. So you should always try to follow that. That's the point. So, any other questions? Yes.
Has a widget ability to read the screen log and can see if the user is picked? So I'll repeat the question with the microphone. So has the widget the ability or an API to read the screen log or what the user is doing maybe with other widgets at the same time, so that you can decide if you can go into a power down state, so if it doesn't need to access the network because the user is concentrating on another widget or has locked the screen entirely. So the user is not using the device at the moment.
I didn't get the question at all.
What kind of API has the widget on its access? Can it read if the user has locked the screen or is using a different widget at the same time, so that it will need to update the data in a moment?
Okay, so the question is, if the device is locked, will the widget still call the data, will the widget still take the memory? So, this again is a question where you also have to play nice, because N900 supports for multitasking and multiple applications running at the same time. So you have to understand that it should not frequently call data. Even if it's not, it can, because if it has an internet connection, it can call data after say 10 minutes or something, the interval you set. So that's why play nice is very important, and you have to play nice. Any suggestions, personal tips you guys want to share with everyone?
Do you have already some working client for this widgets environment?
Yes, actually we do have some work in progress right now. I mean, there was a web runtime demo also day before yesterday, where we showed some of these web runtime based widgets online. So it will be available very soon, and it will follow all the standard web technologies.
Do you have some URLs where its development is ongoing, or someone which you can take right now and participate in development? Or
so what my suggestion to you is
it that URL?
So we are developing the resource for that, and what my suggestion is, come to Maemo development SDKs, share your opinions, suggestions. So this is the whole resource, the whole framework is still in development, and we very much like you guys' opinion on each of these. So come and join us. I invite you. Come join us here. Any other questions? So thank you. Thank you very much.